on the Awaken Show. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and I know everyone is kind of just uh, settling down from everything that went on over the weekend with the SpaceX rocket. It was a real big event, especially over here in California. So we're going to pan away from the UFOs and the aliens a bit here. And we're going to talk about a topic that's actually been discussed before, but we're going to discuss it in a different light, if you will. Okay, so today's discussion is the topic of Hollow Earth. And as you well know, there was a man by the name of Admiral Byrd who actually sent the military, our fleet, our naval fleet, out to Antarctica. And what they discovered, or what they're saying that they discovered, was quite amazing. They're saying that they literally flew into a hole in Antarctica, and discovered a whole another world within itself. They said that there was tons of vegetation down in this particular hole. Now, keep in mind, this is Antarctica. Now, nothing is really supposed to be able to grow there. They said that there was wildlife there, even humanoids that were actually there in this particular place. And they said that they were chased out by a fleet of UFOs. Now, none of this really ever came to light because Admiral Byrd said that he was going to try to go public with his memoirs or his journals, but never had the chance to because he coincidentally fell to his death from a window. Now, with that in mind, let's kind of change gears here a little bit and talk about the topic of today, the topic that we're going to get on. Now, I always thought or wondered, is Antarctica the only way to get to Hollow Earth? So with that in mind, I started to do a little bit of investigating myself, and this is kind of what I found here. I thought this was very interesting, to say the least here. So I'll go ahead and bring that up. And what we're looking at is, this is actually in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a few other places where you can find this at, but it's literally a lake within inside the ocean. Okay, now the saline and the salt is supposed to be so dense that even though you're in the ocean, you can actually see a clear, visible, distinctive difference within the water itself because it's so condensed in that particular area. And as you look around the edges, you start to notice that there's a bed. You start to notice that there's actually, looks kind of like sand or dirt or some kind of just some kind of dirt that you see around that area. Now, those are typically mussels, and it said that very little ocean life can actually live here. In fact, what you see right there is one of the ocean creatures going into this bed of water. And what ends up happening, if you watch this video, he comes out really quickly and he nearly escapes death because it is just extremely toxic. And there are talks of humans going in there and just being extremely sick after they actually come out, just trying to get readjusted, reacclimated here just to the regular ocean water. Now, there was a scene where I can't remember his name. I don't want to say it incorrectly here, but they were in a submarine-like vehicle. And he said when he had seen it, he had noticed that it was different from the water inside. And he said, wait a minute, it literally looks like a bed or a lake bed. But he said, I'm already in the water, so how could there be a lake bed here? So he tried to submerge the submarine inside that lake bed. And what ended up happening is he literally bounced off the lake bed. It was so dense. The metal that he was in literally bounced off of the lake bed within the ocean here. So I started thinking to myself, could this actually be another entrance to Hollow Earth? Because if you think about it here, no one can get here. No one can enter this lake bed. Or what if there are others like this where you can actually go underwater? You can literally go into this lake bed, and as long as you can survive it, you can actually go into the inner core of Hollow Earth itself. Now, that is just amazing in itself here. That is definitely something to think about here. And then you start to wonder if our government has already done this. If they have some kind of technology out there that's already allowed them to travel through this lake bed, already allowed them to investigate this and say, hey, there's another entrance into Hollow Earth here. There are tons of other people with this particular theory in itself here, and there have been people that were just flat came out and said that this is another entrance to Hollow Earth. So I just kind of wanted to talk to you about this particular find that I've actually looked at, that I did a little bit of investigating on here, and I wanted you guys to actually see it for yourself. What I also wanted to do is I wanted you to see the video that I found myself and just kind of, get your own take on it. Tell me what you think about it. Drop a comment in beneath the link, and then, just give me your thoughts on it here. But I'm going to shut up. I'm jabbering on here, and you tell me what you think about it. So here it goes.
It's one of a handful of people to ever see it in person. Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I have ever seen in the bottom of the ocean. It was while filming for Blue Planet in the Gulf of Mexico. And I noticed there's something out in the distance. Couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut that was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. One of the strangest places on the ocean's...
To you. Excuse me, I have to turn my volume up. Now, if that isn't amazing to you here, I wanted to show you something else quick too. And this is just, I believe this is an image of Google Earth here. And what you're essentially looking at is just a map of Google Earth, but somebody has actually pinpointed out some locations in Google Earth, actually giving a description of where they think Hollow Earth is. And guess what? The description that they found, a few places here, but one of the descriptions that they found is actually in the Gulf of Mexico, actually in the oceans in that particular area here. So I want you to take a look what they've actually found here, and just with the information that we're actually getting here about the saline water, and just coincidentally how that is in the Gulf of Mexico. And then you actually go here and you see that this particular area, or one of these particular areas, are in the same place here. You start to wonder, are there different places within our planet that gives us the ability to travel to Hollow Earth? Or is it just a filtering mechanism that allows all the water from that particular area in Hollow Earth to transfer out into our oceans? I mean, just some things to think about here. We don't know for sure, but this is just something that we can actually debate on see if it's something that they can possibly look at, and it could potentially be true. So, just some things to throw out there here. But check this guy out here. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna let you see this because I found this really interesting. So check this out here. Is essentially going to a different location here, just kind of showing you the different areas that you can actually enter Hollow Earth in, and you can actually put in these coordinates yourself on Google Earth, and you can look into this yourself and actually find the same anomalies within our oceans here. And keep in mind, there's literally only 10% of our oceans that have been mapped out, which means 10% of our oceans that have only been discovered here. Now, with this information here, that makes me wonder if that was on purpose, or do we just not have the equipment, and do we just not have the right amount of circumstances to actually go ahead and allow us to search the rest of our oceans here within our world here. So, I don't know. But, as he actually zooms into this particular place, you start to notice that there's another location in there. So pretty interesting stuff here. I really just wanted to present this to you guys here because I found it very interesting. Definitely some more information you can take in as far as with Admiral Byrd, and just adding to the research that Admiral Byrd himself never got to finish, that he never got to put out, being basically his dying wish to actually go ahead and release this information, but never got the opportunity. So I wanted to present some of my findings here, and as we go through this ourselves and we can actually find more information to this, maybe, just maybe, we can get to the bottom of this. But I'm going to let you go with that. This is A1 History signing out on the Awaken Show. Thank you guys for listening to